Well, hey, welcome back to the 99 for the show before the show. I'm your host, Patrick Marlett, and just trying something a little different here. I often get asked, can we see more Pat? And the answer is potentially. Potentially we can. I'm told the camera's been too close. They don't like that level of intimacy. They just want to see a wider view of Pat. So we're trying that. I'm going to try that now. But I'm going to just check in with you guys, see how you're doing. Obviously, we can bant for a little bit before we get into this. As far as technical issues, that's what we do during the show before the show. Resolve any technical issues. The camera is freezing for some reason. I don't know. I took all my gear to a different place for a project shoot the other day, and I didn't treat it kindly, so maybe my camera's acting up. I have no idea. But that shouldn't be an issue. I think it's something with these cables or something to do with this Camlink 4K. It always has this minor issue. So hopefully that doesn't crop up, and if it does, let me know, and then we can sort of, we can adjust. But let me know if you like this framing better. I just want to try something different. There's a mic above my head here. You can't tell. It looked like it was drooping earlier, so if the mic gets into the shot, we'll fix that. There's a light over here, a light over here, a light over there. Is it nice? Is it more dynamic? I don't know. But it's a wider shot, so there's that. Chasing Never says, sorry to say, but when me and my group play, whoever plays Mill dies first. Respectfully, Chasing Never. Is that a fact? Well, this is a fun variation of that strategy. This is fun, Mill. Don't target this player. It's pretty goofy. So I had tasked my YouTube members with picking between one of a number of potential cards or strategies to play for, but namely cards that say a deck can contain any number of X, right? So the working theory was, let's try to perfect or make a better version or a cEDH version of one of these cards. There was Dragon's Approach, Relentless Rats, as well as the other rat. Someone had mentioned Shadowborn Apostle recently on stream, and I tried to talk that person from the ledge. I don't think Shadowborn Apostle is a really great strategy to play for, no offense. There was just better things to do. And then there was also Persistent Petitioners. And funnily enough, it was a tie between Shadowborn Apostles and Persistent Petitioners. And I elected as the tiebreaker to do Persistent Petitioners, because half the stuff I would want to do with the Shadowborn Apostles actually incorporated blue, and there are just better strategies for a Persistent Petitioner build than there are a Shadowborn Apostle build. The requisites are far less, and it looks a more interesting build, especially with how it plays into the current meta. Like, it just functionally is better, particularly when you add in colors like red and white. And obviously black by itself is fantastic as a support color, so we've got a lot going for this list, and it can definitely function well. I don't know the ratio of Persistent Petitioners to add. This is entirely new to me, so I've never built a deck like this. And that's why we do these live, so I can fumble with a live audience. No, so that you guys can help me, obviously, course correct and make a better variant of what we're working on today. And if you guys want to follow along with me, you can via the link in the description. But I will field any questions while we're chilling here. I am drinking iced coffee today. It is of the pumpkin spice variety, as our guest noted in our previous Brew Wars live. Pumpkin's all the rage right now, it being fall. And oddly enough, we bought coffee creamer that's pumpkin flavored, and it is extremely strong. And look at that, camera froze already. I think that someone's probably going to say something about it. But I don't know what that is. But we're going to try to fix this in the meantime. Give me 1 second. Killing me, camera. Here, you'll get to see the page we're brewing. But if you guys want to follow along with this, you can obviously go to the link in the description. It's frozen already. Man, great. Good partner combo. Thank you. Okay, let me see if I can fix this. This is going to kill me if this doesn't work. that work? Nope. Okay. Still with you. You guys can chat with me if you'd like. Okay, what I'll do is remove this. I'm gonna try adding another video capture device and just see if this one will work. Add a new source. Face cam. And let's see if this will pull up the... Still no. Still no on the face cam. We have to be webcam boys again today? Could you imagine? Tragic. Let me see if I can't troubleshoot this. Like I said, right off the bat, it was going to be problematic, wasn't it? Just had to be problematic. Okay. Frozen stream, or is it me? No, it's everyone. It's frozen. Awesome, I know. Audio, no video. Well, there's video, it's just frozen. Rest in peace, video. Are you using new lenses? No. This is a 7-17 Olympus. I don't know why. I don't know. Frozen Bud. Chris. All right, Chris. All right, hold your horses. No need to caps lock. Frozen, it's always something. How do streamers do this almost every day? How do they do it almost every day? Reluctantly, with mild amount of frustration. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to unplug the Facecam HD once more and see if I can get it to operate for us. So let's try this. Last time I did this, like I had to restart the stream when this wasn't working. Here, you want to see what I'm using? This guy right here. But for some reason, this sucker always has a bloody issue. I'm using the gold tip HDMI cables, right? Isn't that supposed to help with connectivity? I don't know. This is why we have the show before the show, though. See? Isn't this great? I bother doing this whole new setup for you. We're gonna get it to work, damn it. Is that it? You wanna go? Let's try. Okay. Wow. Long-time lurker, first-time stream watcher. I'm here because your shorts, Faded to Flip, webcam boys, sounds fine to me. Yeah, at least the webcam's working. At least the webcam's working. Damn, that is a shame. All right, so let's just see if I can't get this to work without having to reset this software, because usually that's what I have to do. Good God. All right, let's see if it works. If not, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna sadly have to switch to the camera on this laptop, and we're all gonna have to be fine with that. Rather frustratingly too. Gold tip, eh. You think? Is a gold tip really just eh? Is it a gimmick? What are you trying to say? I spent extra. I don't know. It was advertised as having better connectivity. I'm no professional when it comes to HDMI cables. Isn't Brewvac a better... Antonio, if that's true, I don't know. Is there really a better partner for petitioners? You just want to play petitioners, right? I can get into why I thought this partner pairing made the most sense. I'd sat for like a good 40 minutes looking at legendaries and partner pairings to find the one that I thought made the most sense. And we can get into why I chose these two. If there's a Brewvac partner build and it's decent, then sure. You can point it out, or if you play one that's really good, sure. But that's not what we're doing today. Well, it looks good now. Thanks! Thanks. Yeah, you know, I really hope it lasts, though. These things, so finicky. It's frustrating, I gotta tell you. I swear, every time I solve one problem on YouTube, something else pops up. In particular with these streams. I swear to God. There's no perfect system. I've really tried. I have really tried to get everything proper. You have no idea how much shit is strung up in front of me right now to make this work properly. And even last time, it really killed me with our Brew Wars Live. Like, the audio had this weird echo, and I'm like trying to resolve this. I didn't realize, because on my end, it sounded good when I was monitoring it, but for you guys, it was like, It felt like hollowed out. It was very weird, and I don't know why. I really wish I had someone who is more tech savvy than I. I mean, I literally just look up tutorials on this stuff. I don't really know what I'm doing half the time. So the fact that any of this comes together is real. It's pure magic, as they say. But hopefully this will function. We'll see. I appreciate you guys calling out when the stream froze, as I asked. Hopefully it won't do that again. I'm going to just cross my fingers for the rest of this. And, I don't want to detract from what would be a fantastic cold brew because I'm really interested in this partner pairing. But yeah, instead of yelling at me about the screen being frozen, because I could tell, how would you guys yell at me with some questions while I clean my glasses? Okay. It looks like the gold tip works here and there, or here and there, rather, or it might be the capture card. Also, I was saying gold tipped as in nice. Oh, gold tip. Isn't it's more like gold tip. All right. I guess I understand. Yeah, I don't know. It again, I just read that it was the best for connectivity. I can neither confirm nor deny that. Has it been functioning well? I can't really say. And the thing is, with a lot of streamers, that people that do this full time, they have PCs with capture cards built into their computer, like running right off their motherboard. Like they've got a setup that is far more intelligent than mine, right? We're all using the same software. The Streamlabs or OBS, like vanilla OBS, but the major issue with the software is its connectivity with Mac, but also how it holds connection with my various devices. Fortunately, there's been no issues with the audio. Well, that's bullshit. I have had issues with sync with my audio since recently. It should be good now. Let me know if it's in sync. You really couldn't tell when the video was frozen, I'm sure. But now it should hopefully be better. But for video, it's like, I want to use the expensive gear I buy, right? I don't just buy this lens for nothing. And I would like for it to connect and be useful on my, on my video software for these streams. But what's crazy is I'm having to downscale. Like I could stream this at like 60 frames a second 4K if this software / my Mac would allow it. I think ultimately, and again, fruitlessly, senselessly, this would require me to buy additional shit that I don't want to buy. So bottom line is, we're going to make this work, puppies. I think that's what it really, really comes down to. Up until, until I'm making like $500,000 off of streams, then that logically would tell me I should just buy the best PC or whatever and like really update everything so it's optimum. But this is going to be what it has to be. I watched YouTube for anything I don't know how to do. It's normal. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it used to just be a phrase you'd say jokingly, like, oh, just YouTube it, or oh, just Google it. And it's truth be told, and it's all the same. Like Google owns YouTube, if you don't know. So when you Google things, like there's a YouTube tutorial telling you exactly how to do it, and it's a fact. You can really find pretty much anything you need to know in most instances, unless it's extremely obscure, on YouTube. Yo, love the shirt. Where did you get it? I don't remember. I want to say Redbubble. I'm going to say Redbubble. Maybe delay the audio another bit, maybe 8 milliseconds. Sunnyside friend. Okay. Well, I can tell you that the audio is delayed. I'll tell you how much this audio is delayed. 120 milliseconds already. Another 8 milliseconds would make it perfect. When I watched recent playback, it sounded good. The sound was fine. The sound is great. The sync was off. It looked accurate. And if anyone else can corroborate this story, let me know. Would another 8 milliseconds one direction or the other? I'm assuming you mean delayed. Would that help? I'm curious. Favorite color. Favorite color. I don't really have one. Is that crazy? If I were to pick yellow, yellow? It's a happy color. It's the color of urine. No, I don't know. Here. Of all my recent paracord straps for my film cameras, this one's my favorite. And it's yellow. So how about that? I'm going to say yellow. Yellow's my favorite. It could just be the design of that one too. But there you go. How do you deal with ramp issues in four colors without green? Without green. Sorry, audio is good. There's enough artifact ramp. It shouldn't really matter, right? I was wondering how 99 does it specifically. Oh, how? Well, I mean, I'll just state that bipolar toast kind of hits the nail on the head there. The fact of the matter is, green isn't absolutely necessary when it comes to ramp. I think that green gets a lot more credit than it deserves. Let me just start there. And that might be an unpopular opinion. I know people like to complain about green having a lot of things that other colors have, and it's true. It has variations of them. But green, what it does well, I mean, I wish Primetime wasn't banned. You know, there's certain cards that I really like in green that are fantastic, but are banned. And a lot of the stuff that's there, like, are functional ramp pieces, like sacrifice a land, grab 2 lands, and or just put a land into your hand and 1 on the battlefield, or 2 lands come into play tapped, or, you know, play a 1-mana dork, and it could be a human, it could be an elf, whatever. There are variations of dorks. There are you know, we're seeing more and more of these cards, but they're not absolutely necessary. And as a matter of fact, they're slower than a lot of strategies that are outside of green, right? My Rakdos list is faster than a majority of any green list I've ever developed, because if your strategy is to play and patiently wait for your Birds of Paradise to untap, you know, that's not going to be as efficient as the guy who says Chrome mocks my Birds of Paradise and then I can do more on my turn than you could. Green does have access to 1 piece of fast mana, 2 technically, by way of Tinderwall, by way of Elvish Spirit Guide, and I'm sure there's something else that will go positive, I'm sure, on the cast, right? So Tinderwall's 1 green, you can sack it for 2 red. You know, that would be great. Definitely use that. Elvish Spirit Guide, you exile it from your hand to make green, right? That's great. But for the most part, you should just watch our most recent Brew Wars live. Not to toot my own flute, but I was playing a variation, I guess you could call it that, of a Underworld Breach build with Florian, who I will probably make a deck tech on because he's deserving. After winning 4 games in a row with Florian, I think he's deserving. Not to toot my own flute, but you'll see it functioned very quickly with a proper mulligan, understanding of the deck, and obviously access to a lot of fast mana. So green, while it has ramp, you know, by the truckload, it's not really relevant. You know, I don't see, at least in my own meta, I don't see that many people playing for dorks anymore, as much as they had in the past, unless it's some variation of Thrasios and, you know, you get the Seedborn Muse out, you cheat the Seedborn Muse, you got all this mana, and you're making, Bloom Tender's making mana, and you got all this mana to pour into Thrasios, you got all this value, and like, that value engine is like 5 separate cards. It's crazy how long it took you to do that, when the rest of the world is really just thriving on ad nauseums and shit. It's kind of depressing how far, like, there aren't that many green cards I really feel like I need to incorporate in my list outside of the tutors. There aren't that many green power cards I can think of that are super important or super vital to anyone's strategy, unless that deck was mono green. And then it's like, oh, Allosaur Shepherd, I gotta have that in there. And then of course there's a few key cards that are mildly important. Sorry, I am answering this question probably more over than I needed to, but I hope that, right, that states it. Carpet usually, thank you. That's the other ramp card I was thinking of. That I knew there was one more. There had to be one more. But carpet's fine. And that one's dependent. You know, sometimes you'll have... it's weird, like when you're at a table with a red elemental blast and no one's playing blue. And kind of the same situation with carpet. It's weird, like when you're at the table and no one's playing blue. It happens sometimes, right? And then carpet's dead. So it's not really great value, but generally speaking, Carpet of Flowers is like insane value. Thank you, Trent, for that. I think just traditionally creature-based decks don't do as well, and these have conditions. Yeah. Your shirt is sick. Thank you. Glad you all feel this way about Aerith. I agree. Love her. So sad she died. Over it now. But Aerith's great. I set a reminder for when you go live, but YouTube never notified me. Well, Billy Mays. So here's the thing. For some reason, and before we start this video, I'll answer a handful of these other questions, but for some reason, I'm treated like a second-class YouTuber on here with the streams. I don't understand why, but they don't generate the same amount of impressions as what they're called. When you see a thumbnail for my channel, you'll see it more for pre-recorded content or my YouTube shorts than you will ever for my live streams. They're not treated the same. And I don't know why. And it's frustrating because I really, really enjoy doing these. Like, I really love doing live streams. This is the kind of entertainment I honestly want to provide into the future with this channel and any channel, because it's, I don't know, it feels more candid. It feels more honest. It's easier for me to get to your thoughts on these streams, provided you're here for them. And it's upsetting because I hear that a lot, that people will hit the bell, you know, blow on the whistle, and they never get notified of these things. So if you want, you can hit the bell for the channel, and that should notify you of all things. And to beat this fucking algorithm, if you were to hit the like button, if you enjoy these, because not enough people hit the like button on these live streams, and I answer a lot of fucking questions on these live streams, it would be great, in the least, if you enjoyed this. If it sucked and you didn't gain anything from this, then dislike it, leave, whatever. It's fine. But if you liked it, please hit the like button, because I don't know what else YouTube is looking at for these. I have no idea at this point. A dumb question, is it just me, or do werewolves don't work well in Commander, the flip condition? The Ember Wolf and Moon Mist being the only that gets around the flip. When you like werewolves? I'm trying to think of a werewolf that's relevant. It's tricky because werewolves just aren't that good naturally in Commander. Werewolves aren't that good, right? I guess Tovalar is really cool because of his synergy, and I say really cool because of the word draw specifically with werewolves and wolves, right? The fact that it hits both axes is kind of important. But I don't know if there's any really great werewolves to keep an eye out for. I think that's just traditionally, yep, Trent, I'm read your comment already. Tony Diaz, I ordered most of it, but, okay. Red, black are the ritual colors. I guess rituals are more relevant in turbo meta than green. Yeah, that is factual for the most part, Antonio. Rakdos has the majority of all ramp. And again, we named a few just there: Carpenter Flowers, Tinderwall, and Elvish Spirit Guide. Those are some of the only few offhand. So I guess Jund would have it best, right? Jund would have it best in concerns to ramp, right? I'm glad that the video is working. Oh, God. Did I just jinx it? I just jinxed it. All right. Well, I was about to start the stream, and then that happened. So let me just fix this again, see if I can, and then we'll start officially. Or we're just going to go to Facecam here. Or we're just going to use the lovely Facecam because I can't be putting up with this all day. Sorry, gotta bounce. That's fine. Thank you, though. Dang, bro. That F-bomb, though. I got my 6-year-old with me. Oh, dang it. Chris. I didn't know. This channel is labeled not for children. I don't know what to say. I do try to refrain from cursing for the most part, though. Let's see here. The transform mechanic. There's a couple of like flippy floppy creatures though that are modal double face that flip and transform, but so far as transforming werewolves, I can't think of one that's like hyper relevant or that anyone's really thirsting for. Is it working now? We'll find out. It wasn't that amazing, the Texas German, right when I was gonna mention, and I'm not gonna say it again. Yeah, seriously. How did you break it? I don't know. F. Yeah. F is real. All right, so I think it's time for us to start because I'm actually really interested in this, and I am celebrating a thing later this evening, so I might have to break early. So let's start this up. Welcome back to the 99, where we're focused on brewing a better competitive Commander. I'm your host, Patrick Marlett, and this is Cold Brew, where I take you from start to finish on a brand new list. I'm sorry, I curse and drink on this channel. It's really not great for kids. I wouldn't suggest you watch this with kids unless you don't mind them hearing curse words here and there, and just tell them that words are appropriate in certain situations, even curse words, at least in my book. But I feel bad if you didn't realize that this is not marketed to children. And despite that fact, we are going to be building a deck of cards that a child could play. And that deck is called I Respectfully Mill. And it's a partner pairing between Akiri Lineslinger and Silas Wren. Now, did I choose this path? Did I ask for this deck? No, of course not, because our YouTube members selected the cold brew for this week. And I put up a series of cards that say you can have as many of these in the deck as you want, to include the Persistent Petitioners alongside a Dragon's Approach, Relentless Rats, all these fun things like Shadowborn Apostles, but sadly they weren't selected. And yes, I am brewing for blue, so we might as well take a look at the list now. This deck is a bit of an oddity. It does a lot of things you want a Underworld Breach list to do, though. And that is rely on Persistent Petitioners to put cards in your graveyard, and then you can utilize them to some extent. But before we even get to the commanders and why I think they are the best, the most optimum way to play Persistent Petitioners, it's probably important I just start with Persistent Petitioners. And if the camera freezes again, my friends, let me know. I'm gonna try, but if it doesn't work, I'll switch to this camera on my laptop. How about that? Persistent Petitioners, or maybe just use a different camera. Again, all my cameras were out on a shoot yesterday, and I wasn't safe with them. Maybe one of them took a bump. I have no idea. But Persistent Petitioners, for 1 generic, 1 blue, creature, human advisor, 1/3 body. You can pay 1 tap. A target player puts the top card of their library into their graveyard. Sure. So it's essentially like a Codex Shredder, except you have to pay mana. So that feels kind of bad. What's unique about this card, though, is that it has tap 4 untapped advisors. Now, they don't need to be Persistent Petitioners. They could just be advisors. I don't know how many advisors are in the world of MTG, but we can look. Target player puts the top 12 cards of their library into their graveyard. In most all instances, we are going to say this guy. A deck can have any number of these cards. Cool. So we break the general rule. Now, I have 25 in here because in my mind, with Ripple of 4, and you'll understand what I'm talking about in a second, 25 makes up approximately a fourth of the list. There are 99 cards, or in this instance, 98 cards in the deck, so I want a thick enough consistency of Persistent Petitioners to make sure that we get a lot of these out of our deck. And we can look into utilities for these bodies outside of tapping them, but having only the need of 4 of these on the field to do the thing is actually really useful. So I'm questioning whether or not 25 is overboard. I'm sure it is. Again, we'll find the balance. But we have Akiri Lineslinger. So initially, the partner pairing I had for this was Rograk. And I have to say, Rograk's fine. Rograk's lovely. But I was only utilizing Rograk because I wanted red. But when you look at most Grixis builds, the thing it's missing in a lot of instances, and what a lot of us want, is that sweet Savine's Reclamation. So I'm like, well, how can I also incorporate that to get the most out of the spec? Well, I'm like, well, Akiri's also great in red, and she actually plays really well with Silas Wren, was my main man for this build. I was thinking of none other than Silas Wren for Persistent Petitioner. I'll get into why. But Akiri plays along well with Silas Wren because it's a 0/3. Doesn't sound great. First strike Vigilance, but she gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. Silas Wren is generally, in my opinion, going to rely on a select number of artifacts, but is looking to place artifacts on the battlefield within its own ability, and happens to be an artifact himself. So there's already synergy there between the two of them. She's going to be a 1/3 off the bat if this is the only artifact you have on the field. And in the What's More department, as we were talking off camera just during the show, before the show, it's actually in a really good place here because we're going to be relying on a lot of fast mana, which happens to be artifacts, and we're going to be relying on a lot of artifacts in general to get the job done here. And Silas loves artifacts because he's Death Touch, 2/2 body. Whenever Silas Wren deals combat damage to a player, choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. So what I love about this is the fact that we can use Entomb, Unmarked Grave, anything to bury artifacts and then cast them. So, in my theory, and there's plenty of utilities we can also incorporate, things like rummage effects, things like loot effects, anything that's going to just discard an artifact and put it into our graveyard, we still have access to that artifact. So it's actually a really cool commander, and not just for the colors, but for the actual ability to function well within this pile. because persistent petitioners, they want stuff. They want to rather put stuff in our graveyard. So they're going to fuel Silas Wren with all the goodies. And for the most part, if we're not hitting Thrumming Stone, which we'll talk about in a second, Silas is just going to accrue value out of our fast mana, out of our rocks, out of our Lotus Petal. Even a Lotus Petal in this world is really good because it's something that we can repeatedly get, provided we get in with Silas. And I like that quite a bit. And then obviously the synergy in tandem with Akiri is the fact that, well, she's just going to get bigger and bigger and become a looming threat who happens to be vigilant. So she'll always be able to block anything on our battlefield. And we might even throw a Karn in here. We might play a handful of Planeswalkers. There are useful ones that will work within this strategy. And we can look up the Planeswalkers within these colors to see if there's anything we want to incorporate. But lastly, before I check out what you're saying and stop talking at you, Ripple 4. This is what I'm referring to. It's an oldie. I wouldn't say it's a goodie, but it's expensive. It's expensive as if it were a goodie because it only had the one printing from Cold Snap. I think that's what this is. 5 generic legendary artifacts. Spells you control have Ripple 4. Whenever you play a spell, you may reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may play any revealed cards with the same name as the spell without paying their mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library. Now, this is going to work well with persistent petitioners because you're going to cast it, Ripple, cast it, Ripple. You're just going to get all of the persistent petitioners out of your deck. Now, we only need 4. So provided we hit 4, all is right with the world. We'll still do this, right? You may, we will, because we want to thin our list out. But this is not bad. This is really good. This is something that we kind of want to shoot for in this world. Are there better things to do? Probably. Obviously, within these colors, there are firmer strategies to play for, but this was the cold brew for the day. So this is why we're doing it. It's also just a more interesting way to play the game, in my opinion. So I'm going to chew through your questions. Put it that way. Les, lovely freeze. Should I get Korean barbecue tacos or Gringo Supreme? I don't know. Yep, working. It's good now. Alexa, break the live stream. Honestly, like you express yourself, it's normal to curse. Thanks, Tony. I appreciate that. I mean, I don't know. I was trying to refrain. I was thinking to myself, like, how much more popular can this channel be? Like, if it was just kid friendly, I swear, if I just made content for children, I would be making millions. Instead I'm doing something that I enjoy. So at least let me talk the way I want to talk while I'm enjoying myself. God damn it. Or, I try to refrain. I know people are sensitive to this stuff, but whatever. Anyway, Akiri is God of War inspired? Akiri's look is God of War inspired? Kind of. You see a Kratos in the making. I just love this Akiri. I think she's definitely underutilized. Would Brew's Tarl not be better if Silas is your main plan? 2 triggers on Silas with double strike from Brew's? No. I like Akiri just a little bit more. To me, in my mind, it's better to have Akiri on the battlefield and have Fierce Guardianship active. Just due to the nature of her mana cost, more things are accessible to me than having to play for Brew's Tarl, who's 4 or 5 CMC. And this is an artifact-centric deck, so I'm more interested in Akiri. However, you can switch for Brew's Tarl if you want. If you just want the colors, that's fine. Block enemy Silas with Akiri. Wanted to build this partner, make it equipment strategy? Maybe. Oh, it's persistent. Didn't notice. Yeah, it's persistent. What you don't want to be on the channel was a kid opening and playing with new toys each week. What, you don't want to be that channel with a kid? Oh, yeah, that would be cool. Would you guys want to tune into that if I just opened up children's toys? We did on the stream. We did recently. Can you see it? No, you really can't see it. Brew Wars Live. We opened a toy. That was peak viewer engagement right when that happened too. No, I mean, I guess we could, but we're not. So if you look at the land base, you'll notice that there's 33 lands. We don't want that many lands. I just need to see what is the predominant color here. It looks like blue, but I want to see what the predominant color is, and then the other color, and then we're going to try to incorporate as many duels as are necessary to play for that color. And you could probably make an excuse to add a few basic planes or basic lands in general, but I'm going to let you optimize the land base as you tackle this project yourself. The other cards to note are Thassa's Oracle. Don't need to talk about that. Dramatic Reversal. Oh, why? Because Isochron Scepter Dramatic Reversal makes infinite mana. Well, if we just made 4, we are also, rather, if you just made for Isochron Scepter 2, so long as you are making 2 mana, you can repeatedly do this, right? So the idea being we get to untap our Persistent Petitioners and do the thing with Persistent Petitioners. Just mill ourselves, right? Clearly, if you have more mana, the better, because then you can defend what you're doing. And then obviously you would have the mana for Savine's Reclamation, which is the big one I was talking about earlier. Savine's is 2 generic, 1 white, flashback, 4 generic, 1 white, and I get to bring 2 permanents back from my graveyard if I cast it from my graveyard that are 3 CMC and under. And in that instance, we're going to bring back Underworld Breach and whatever the heck else we want. Okay, it's our world. Everyone else is just living in it. Let's go to Scryfall and check out what we have in the search library department, because I got to be honest with you, I am sure that there are tutors within these colors, this diversity of colors that I've not seen. So what I want to do is just look over a handful of them by release date today. Crazy, right? I might even... It's weird. When you see this, are you seeing those lines I'm seeing? Here. Damn, that's gonna kill me. It's gonna kill me. Okay, that's better. That's so much better. I joined the channel recently. Are these decks you want to build in real life or just brew for fun? That's a good question, Tony Diaz. And here, let's heart to heart halftime. Hope you guys enjoy these. It's new to the channel. These are decks that I would hand off to someone and say, knock your socks off. If you were going to build a Persistent Petitioner deck, as was suggested by our viewing audience members that are members of the channel, this is the version of the deck I would suggest you play, or at least the one I have deemed best. And that was after, an hour of research prior to this, and then obviously anything we do on the channel. These lists, if I were to buy and or make these in paper, I would own hundreds of decks. So no, I'm not going to say that this is something I want to own in person or in paper, but as a heart-to-heart to you, it is definitely a deck I can recommend, provided it gets there. And we're going to break in this deck in just a few, but there is a heart-to-heart halftime, not necessarily at the halftime mark. You literally did. I know, Truheimer. I know I opened a toy on the channel. I know it was a breach of my contract to you guys not to make child shit. But Mill respectively, great name. Thank you. No lines on my view. No lines on your view. Thank you, Matt P. Yeah, it's weird. There was something on my monitor here, but I'm just gonna cross my fingers if anything works. Moonsilver Key though. Moonsilver Key. If we're doing something with LED, then we might want, say it with me now, a Moonsilver Key. So let's go ahead and add that. And yes, I know our card count is pretty high. I don't think our card count's going to stay there. Also, another heart-to-heart halftime, quarter time, three-fourths time. Do you like the length of these cold brews? Now, bear in mind, I don't think it's possible to manage doing a deck tech in less than 2 hours, like for a competitive deck. But is the duration too long? I understand a lot of people like to watch these and pick them up later, or they just have it on the background, and I appreciate that. If you're cooking, boo! I'm sorry if I scared you. And if you're on the John, I hope you freaked out the person next to you. But yeah, when do you watch these? How long do you watch these for? And do you enjoy watching 2 hours of content? Is that just too much in the age of TikTok? I really don't know. Enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a card with flashback or disturb. Never going to use that. Or we could, I don't know. Oh, we were just asking for this to be a Voltron. It could be Voltron Persistent. Why don't you believe that? Enters the battlefield, search your library for an equipment card. Well, sadly, there's no real use for any equipment in this list, so I don't think we're going to go that route. But you could, and if you did, fighter class. I keep forgetting fighter class is a thing. I like that it was just printed. Moonblessed Cleric for them enchantments. Oh, it's one sweaty glass. Do you like... Oh. Is that nice? That sweat. You may search your library for an enchantment card, reveal it, and put it on top of your library. That seems pretty dope, doesn't it? But are there any good enchantments in this list? Man, does anyone play for Underworld Breach? Maybe we put Moonblessed Cleric. But the thing is, I don't think so. I think we've got enough influx of creatures. Is she an advisor? Imperial Recruiter's an advisor. Imperial Recruiter's an advisor. I will put, if the creature is an advisor, I will put it in the deck. If it's not, it doesn't get considered. How about that? Pretty crazy, pretty kooky. Unmarked Grave. What's all that's important with this list is that we have the right influx of tutors to accomplish the task. So I'm just looking at any of the new ones that I might not be thinking of, any sort of like dual colored tutors or something up that's popped up since recently that I just forgot or don't know about, and trying to incorporate those now. However, we're going to put the list of all other relevant tutors in just a moment. This is not a definitive search of the tutors we'll be using exclusively. There will be more. There will be more. Forging the Tyrite Sword. Outside of the art, I'm not sure it's necessary. Is there a Pyre of Heroes strategy? Akiri is an ally? Akiri's like 3 different things. She's got a lot of occupations. Kind of puts Silas to shame. I think he's just listed as a human. I don't think that it's necessary with this build, so I'm going to ignore it. And we don't need things like wizard cycling or anything like that because we're going to rely on milling ourselves. The general strategy, I guess I should state, is if you haven't guessed with Persistent Petitioners, milling ourselves to the ultimate conclusion of having Underworld Breach, make it to the battlefield and just playing out stuff from our graveyard, and or just using Savine's Reclamation for Thassa's Oracle. Right? But if push comes to shove, then we use Underworld Breach for our own Praetor's Grasp, we steal that person's Thassa's Oracle, or we'll devise a separate win if Thassa's Oracle is not enough, but 9 times out of 10, Thassa's Oracle, generally enough. I think I will actually do a search for advisors in a second, but we can just go ahead and put in the typical tutors suite. I think that I think we covered all the ground there would be to gain on new tutors. And none of these other ones are really interesting. Like the one that finds runes, none of this stuff is interesting. And the fact that we're seeing reprints, like I remember most everything from Commander Legends back, so we can just do that now. Let me tune in with you guys. See how you're doing. What's your mind's thinking of? Oh, you made me ink. Oh, God. Sorry, Daniel Fraser. It's okay. I'm zoning out sometimes because I usually lie in bed. I think it's cool that it's in depth. Don't think it should be shorter. I'm glad you don't think it should be shorter. I don't know. I listen to Interaction Chat at work. When you do the play test the deck, I already am home, so I watch it at home. Cool. Clones, Morphlings would work. There's a clone that mills as well. No Brew. Coming in with the hot advice. That's good to note. If you're thinking advisors, then how about Alexander Clamilton? I think that's a real card too, right? That was like a some form of uncard. Oh my God. All right, Demonic Tutor, Vampiric Tutor, Enlightened Tutor's in already. We're gonna do Imperial Seal. Undoubtedly, we'll probably miss a tutor or two, at least in my mind, or we won't even spell the tutor's name correctly, and that's okay too. But Vampiric Tutor, Demonic Tutor, oh, so many colors. Gamble, Entomb, and Unmarked Grave. Did I already put these? Did I put Entomb? Maybe I put Entomb. I don't know. But name relevant tutors. Name relevant tutors. Search library. I think search library artifact is probably the most relevant in this instance. And I might just do like a solo search for some of the more important tutor effects that we can incorporate, right? And I don't think we're going to use anything like Transmute. We're in 4 colors. We should just be reliably able to get there. Do you have Lion's Eye, Diamond, and Brain Freeze? Jacob, you're not talking about Persistent Petitioners, are you? No, we don't have Lion's Eye, Diamond. Lion's Eye, Diamond's fine once the Underworld Breach hits, right? Obviously, Lion's Eye Diamond's great for fueling that breach, so on and so forth. Yeah, we'll use the Vintage Masters one. Why not? I don't have Brain Freeze yet. I'm not going to go on Brain Freeze. It's a cop-out. I'm going to sideline Brain Freeze for the people that fail at Persistent Petitioners, okay? But the main strategy is Persistent Petitioners. Yes, Brain Freeze is far more logical, but that's not the point of Cold Brew. This is the Persistent Petitioner deck, so I want to make sure that we take it there. Okay. Brewvac for double mill. Get the red one! Brewvac for double mill. Get out of here. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. The new Benevolent Geist seems pretty gooch for them Savine lines. Damn, you're so right. Oh, damn, you're so right. But it's just Benevolent. Is it Benevolent Geist on the front? Let's just see if it pops up. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like Benevolent Geist. Is it an advisor, though? We'll see in a second. Also, is it commander or general? I don't know what you mean by that. Masako, the Humorless, is an advisor and lets you tap creatures for blocks. Tap creatures block? Oh, lets your tap creatures block. You mean the white legendary gal. Yeah, that sounds kind of cool. Solve the equation. Oh, God. Solve the equation. Solve the equation. I don't know if solve the equation. Is that just instants and sorceries? Did I miss it? Solve the equation would have been up here. Before here. After here. Did I miss solve the equation? It's a blue card. It's right there. Library, instant, or sorcery. Let's see how relevant instants and sorceries are, but I think that's probably a good call. You're probably right with that. I like that. Word of Invention or Transmute artifact tutors. So, I wish there was a mage for this, but it's absolutely not necessary. Because we're able to play artifacts from our grave, and we're gonna insist that we get those to go through. It's probably fine to lay off many 3CMC tutors. I think a majority of the 3CMC tutors are maybe a bit. That's just too high. That's too rich for my blood. I prefer my tutors to be cheaper. Oh God, why couldn't you be a wizard advisor? That's okay. Can't win them all. I wish Shadowborn Apostle was just any cleric, because that card, it's so stunted by its specifics, and yet it's so popular, and I don't know why. I'm assuming it's like a casual threat. Like, do people really like Shadowborn Apostles? Halftime, heartwarming halftime, what have I been calling them? Let me know. Is Shadowborn Apostle like high on your list of things to do in life? Like, do you really like Shadowborn Apostles, or are you just being forced to by your friends? Word of Invention was recommended. Artifacts you control can help you cast the spell with Improvise. It's pretty cool. Search your library for an artifact card to convert a mana cost of X or less and put on the battlefield and shuffle your library. So my only qualm with Word of Invention is that it's expensive as shit. And again, I'm sorry if there's kids listening, and I'm not trying to make light of that. It's like an actual thing. I'm sorry if you're a kid and you watch this. This is not for children. Saheeli Ray. One generic is it. Scry 1. Saheeli Ray. Ray? I knew a girl whose middle name was Ray, and it was spelled this way. So I'm going to pronounce it Saheeli Ray. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature you control, except it's a... well, we just make advisors, but -2... we got Akiri, though. Akiri's going to keep that girl safe. Mystical Tutor's a good one, isn't it? You can tell I don't play blue because that was not on my list of things to do. Grenzo fills the grave and gets petitioners to the field. Kinda hanky, but hey. Kinda hanky, but hey. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Grenzo does fill the grave. Let me look at Master Grenzo really quick. Because there's this old border version that, you know, if I could play with this, I would play with this. Put the bottom card of your library into your graveyard if it's a creature. Well, I mean, you could just, I don't know. Yes, you could fill your graveyard with this. I don't want to do anything that's counterintuitive to the mass mill strategy that we're trying to build for. Does that make sense? Like, there are better ways to do what we're doing, but we're making persistent petitioners. Does that make sense? No, right? I know it doesn't make sense. Honestly, I think it's just because of JLK. Josh Lee Kwai still on Shadowborn. I didn't know. Maybe that's, yeah, sure, I guess. Oh, Intuition sounds good. Sorry, that just hit me. Yeah, I guess so. Oh no, we got froze. Damn it! All right. Enough of this. We're going to use the superior camera. We're using the superior camera. There it is. Oh, beautiful. Oh, look at that. It's so bright. Isn't this what you wanted? This is certainly more optimum. Oh my God, let's just turn this shitty camera off. Who needs that? I can't even run it in 4K. Who needs that? This is far superior. But let's see. What do you think of Ludwig Oleg? I don't think of Ludwig Oleg. I don't. But with Mirror Mad Phantom as a win con? I don't. I haven't thought about it. I can't give you an honest answer because I haven't really thought about it. But it sounds awesome. How smooth was this transition, by the way? I'm sorry we have to use this, but if this failed me a fourth time, I'm going to just contact Elgato. Don't buy Camlink 4K. Don't buy this. I remember having to spend a shit ton of money for this during the pandemic, which we're still in. But it was so much money because everyone was buying these off the market and reselling them. So I'm like, well, I really wanted to use one of these for my cameras. Don't buy it. Product review. You're getting a product review on this one. Didn't even expect it. Yeah, no more Camlink 4K. I'm going to have to figure out an alternative solution. Or just switch cameras. See if we can get this to work with something else. I have no idea. All right. Moving on. Carry on. Intuition in Savines is the way. It is a way, and it is certainly a way I've seen people play. So, I agree. Again, I got to think more like a blue player. I don't often. And when I do, it scares me. Because I'm so brilliant at it. Wait, search the city. For generic blue, when search the city enters the battlefield, exile the top 5 cards of your library. Whenever you play a card with the same name as a card in exile, you may put one of those cards with that name into its owner's hand. Oh my gosh, combo with persistent protection. We're not doing it. I'm sorry. It's just not happening. Praetor's Grasp, though. Praetor's Grasp seems pretty good. That seems like a good one. Now, this was mentioned earlier. I hate the text on Transmute Artifact, but I'll read it. I think it's basically you sacrifice an artifact. You sacrifice an artifact, and then you can put an equivalent artifact on the battlefield, or if it's a more expensive artifact, you need to pay the difference. Yes, if you don't put it into its owner's graveyard, then shuffle your library. That's actually kind of interesting, isn't it? It's like an entomb. It's an entomb for artifacts at that. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. And I'm assuming this is reserve list, right? As with all of the best cards. All right, I'm actually enjoying looking at these odd tutors, you know, like Search the City or whatever that was called. I would never play that, but it's cool to know it exists. Search your library for any number of non-land cards and exile them. I think we're good. If an opponent would search your library, you may pay 0 for this. Put the 13 cards of his or her library into... Man, I kind of wish this could just hit us to just continue the fuel. Search your library for an artifact. So Fabricate was also mentioned. Again, the 3 CMC is kind of off-putting. I might have put Fabricate in here, though, already as one of those necessary toots, but I could be wrong. Let's see here. Honestly, nope, that's not. Oh, fair. And Video Frozen, yes. And Mesmeric Orb. Mesmeric Orb as an interesting... Okay, so Mesmeric Orb is an artifact. Mesmeric Orb is an artifact. I like it. I like where your head's at. So, I think that we can... There's a home for Mesmeric Orb here. I think there's a home for Mesmeric Orb. Or just Mesmeric. And Basalt Monolith. Your head's in the right place today, Trent. It's in the right place. I think there's certainly a home for that. Secret Salvage is super cool with its with petitioners, or any of the ones like it. Might be too slow though. Secret Salvage, you say? Secret Salvage. Secret Salvage, Mr. Potter. Exile target non-land card from your graveyard. Search your library for any number of cards with the same name as that card. Reveal them and put them into your hand. It's a little expensive, but I mean, it's no more or less than an ad nauseum. So maybe you might be onto something, my friend. You may be onto something. Let's see what that salvage has to unveil. I think that we're probably going to avoid it for now, though. But I like Secret Salvage. I really don't. That's a cool way to do the thing, like to get all the things, right? Sure. I'll put it on the side. Maybe we change our mind. Maybe we do it. Maybe it's the best card in the deck. I don't know yet. I haven't really played this deck. Hide and Seek is a favorite of mine. I'm just going to put it in the deck because I don't think we're on ad nauseum. I mean, I don't really think so. But we've got... I only say that because this is a 4CMC card, but it's got a lot of utility to it, and I've always wanted to use it. So we are going to use it today. Night Dealings. If only you were good. I think that we're probably at threshold. Oh, Merchant Scroll. Merchant Scroll, is it ever bad? Is Merchant Scroll ever bad? I actually added this card already. I thought this was really awesome. When I was doing some mild research on artifact tutors, and Artificer's Intuition came in. Because you discard an artifact for 1 blue, you can find one of 1 or less value. Namely, like LED in most cases, but just fast mana. But what's cool is that you could just bin an artifact that you want to recover with Silas, and then, you know, cast Silas off of whatever you grabbed. So on, you get the idea. You get the thing back later, which is kind of cool. Merchant Scroll is fine. I think that even in a 4-colored list, Merchant Scroll is probably going to see use because blue is the thing in this deck. So we're probably going to want to use that. Supreme Inquisitor. Oh my god. Tap 5 on tap Wizards. Not good enough. And oh gosh, this one's really cool too. I really like Insidious Dreams. I think that we're at capacity with these toots. This is good. This actually would Mask of the Mimic would work here. What's the combo? I'll tell you later. Or you can rewind and watch the beginning, and then I'll tell you then. Night Dealings. Yeah, I know. Secrets of the Universe. Too bad there's no Edgewater for advisors. I know. My head is always in the right place, except when it's not. Oh, God. I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that means. All right, so what I wanted to do was type in the subtype advisor. I'm just out of pure curiosity. Are there any really good advisors that we're missing? You know? Are there any that we need, are core to the strategy, essential to our game plan? Probably not, but I'm going to look anyways. At the beginning of your upkeep, return a blue creature you control to its owner's hand. You have a maximum hand... Your maximum hand size is increased by 2. Look at that, man. Just by him spitting in your ear, you gain an increased hand size. I kind of like this card. At the beginning of your upkeep, return a blue creature you control to its owner's hand. I mean, obviously, we don't have a blue creature that ETBs with any sort of relevant effect, so it's probably not important, but that's a really cool card. Someone mentioned Brewvac, and we'll read them. If an opponent would mill 1 or more cards, they mill twice that many cards instead. Well, we're really just milling ourselves, so it's not essential, but it's there. Oh my god, Glenn is an advisor. When Glenn deals combat damage to a player, draw cards equal to his power. Not going to work for that. Lady Sun? The art is outstanding. That baby is entranced by her hand. On your turn, before you attack, you may tap Lady Sun to return it and any other creature. That's kind of cool. Useless, but cool. I like Kambal a lot, and Masako is pretty dope as well. Oh man, Loyal Retainers. I don't think they need to tap for this effect either. Do we add a Loyal Retainers sub-strategy? I don't think there's a really good Loyal Retainers line of play for our lists so far as overlap is concerned, but I think that we're probably good. We're probably good on advisors. Okay, we exhausted that resource. Pat, nothing to do with the current deck. What are your thoughts on Slowgurg over Slime? I have no thoughts on that either. Sadly. Slowgurg, you just said? I'm sure it's fine. I guess my thoughts are the same as they were on the other creature that came out that same time. That was just okay. The dinosaur. That's just fine. Brewvac the Grand Delinquent. That one in blue-black. Glenn. Blue-white? I think Glenn is Azorius. I think he's Azorius. There's a blue-black one that's relevant though. I mean, I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to see. Nah, I don't. This Demure advisor right here. Riven Turnbull. It is ramp. You thought I didn't have ramp. Sans Green. I've got it right here. Riven Turnbull, my friends. Riven Turnbull. Oh man, I can't have 2 unmarked graves even though I want to. It's just not going to work. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is add fast mana and just add counters. Only counters. This is all counter deck. Maybe a silence, but mostly counter. So we're going to do Mana Crypt. Soul Ring. And I want to do the Moxen. So Mox Opal. Mox Amber. Mox Diamond. Chrome Mox. We could do a Mana Vault. We'll do a Grim Monolith. We'll do an Arcane Signet. We'll do a Felwar Stone. Okay, so we need a Lotus Petal. We don't need one, but you know. We need a Jeweled Lotus? Not really, but we will. And any other... So we have the LED. That happened. Remember? That happened earlier. What other rocks do you want? What kind of rocks do you want in this deck? Lay them down. Let me know. Masako is the bomb. Man, okay, let me look at Masako right quick. I want to give her a little bit of cred. Like, I like her a lot, and I'm with you. 3 CMC seems really good. Want to make it work. Tap creatures you control can block as though they were untapped. Here's what I like about Masako. The Persistent Petitioners, they're 1/3s. They're like actually decent blockers, so I can understand why you would want to do that. That's really not bad, but I think we're going to still pass on Masako, although as an honorable mention, she will make it to the Sideline Hall of Fame. Masako the Humorless. You know what? That's not true. I found she's actually very well humored and great to be around, so... Very misleading name, Watsy. Mox Stephanie. Anything else? Mox Jennifer. Any other Moxen you can think of? Sorry, I forget the name. Trueheimer. It's okay. Turnbull is definitely ad nos friendly. Yeah. How has no one broken a 7 CMC mana dork yet? I don't know. I really don't know. It's just... What's wrong with us? We need to get on that. Seconding Dwayne. Dwayne on what? Dwayne for a rock to add. Oh shit. Coming in with the jokes. Coming in with those sweet, sweet jokes. I think that we might be at capacity with our rocks. Let's just take a gander. Let's take a gander, why don't we? We're gonna do one of these live view ganders. How about that? Yes, I know we're over capacity with our creatures. We'll need to fix that momentarily. And we will. We shall. Just not quite yet. I think that this deck will probably... It feels like it's thirsting for an ad nauseum, but I don't think we will. Okay, so Benevolent Geist. I'm going to put Benevolent Geist off to the side for now. I will reduce this count by 5. And... Okay. Give me 1 second. This is fine. There's more. There's more, though. Millstone Keck. Tristan Caver says sorry. Sorry, Patrick. Don't be sorry. Don't ever be sorry. Deals combat damage to a player. Choose target artifact card in graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. I'm trying to think if the Mox Tantalite would be useful. It wouldn't be. The average CMC is around 1.8, right? No? The average CMC is low. You know what? Like I said, we're thirsting, we're craving. We want that sweet, sweet ad nauseum. And damn it, I'm going to give it to you, baby. I'm going to give it to you. You want that ad nauseum? You want to see 1 million persistent petitioners? Well, let's make that dream come true. All right, now we need to add rituals. Dark Ritual. Cabal Ritual. Which is actually going to be fairly useful here because... We'll use Infernal Plunge. Because we're going to be milling the shit out of ourselves. So... Culling the Weak. And what else? What other good goods do we have? Like, I'm not really high on the 2 CMC rituals in a list like this. So I'm going to avoid them. And I mean Desperate Ritual, Pyrrhic Ritual, that kind of stuff. Although a Simian Spirit Guide. Do love me the monkey. I do love me the monkey. I do think we should take out the Imperial Recruiter, though. It's like not very vital that we have a tutor advisor. Although, honorable mention, Sideline. That guy. All right. Grinding Station? What about Grinding Station? We've got Persistent Petitioner, Burno. For the jokes, which one? I don't know. Millstone. Millstone. Target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. Which is the one that's... It's like if you see a card of the same name or same color, you keep milling. I don't... What is... What is that? Mill... Repeat? Grindstone. Target player puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his graveyard. If both cards share a... No. No, we're not going to do some Painter Servant kind of nonsense. That's too much work. Seething Song, Jessica's Will is also a big in my book. I just want the low CMC rituals, okay? We're trying to make things happen pronto. I think we could probably get about... Jessica's Will is fine, but... Seething Song, all the red is probably not going to matter to us. Grindstone? Yeah, it was Grindstone. It was Grindstone. Patrick's Servant and Grindstone. Thrumming Stone? Yeah, we got the Thrumming Stone. We got that sweet, sweet Thrumming Stone. All right, gang. We've got a lot of cards in this deck. Almost too many. And by almost too many, I mean we have over 100. So you probably want to correct that. But let's fix this first. All right, save and continue. What does it mean calling the... Stop. God, first the camera, now this. Tapped out. Don't do me wrong. Don't do me dirty. I'm going to have to cancel you too. We got 104 cards. That's a lot of cards. That's a lot of cards. All right. Something needs to be done. We need to cut more petitioners, don't we? It's oddly feeling like not a persistent petitioner deck. All right. Well, we have the rituals. We have the fast mana. We got all the tutors in the world. We've got all the persistent petitioners that one deck should reasonably have, I think, at 20. We need to cut a handful of lands. And we also need to put some countermeasures in here. I mean, I think it's probably important that we have at least a handful of counters, at least a handful. But the first thing I want to put in is Deflecting Swat, because I won't cave and say that Deflecting Swat isn't amazing. But is it as good as a Fierce Guardianship? I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. That's sad to say, isn't it? Is Deadly Rollick in the list? Of course not. Why do we care about creatures? That's not our problem. We're dealing with persistent petitioners here, so... I'm going to ignore that one for now. However, we can put like a Force of Negation. That's fine. We can put in a Pact of Negation. That's fine. We can even put in a Force of Will while we're at it, because we're that player today. We can put in a Delay. We can put in a Counter Spell. Maybe not yet. I feel like I'd rather a Spell Snare, a Mental Misstep, a Nagate, a Swan Song. I'm just rattling off the ones I can think I've been hit with recently. What else is there? What other blue counter? Name your favorite blue counter spells. We'll also put in a Chain of Vapor, because who needs removal when you can just bounce things? And actually, there is one other creature I want to put in here, and it's Dockside Extortionist, because you know what? Nothing is as sweet as Dockside Extortion. Nothing is as sweet as Extortion is what I was going to say, and I realize that this is a child-friendly show, so that's not true. Dockside Extortionist is to the cEDH world as unboxing of toys is to children content. I think that's like the equivalent. Oh, I'm sorry. People are suggesting things. Mana Drain. Mana Drain is up there. You gotta drain the main vein sometimes, and if it lets you cast Thrumming Stone, well then hell yes. I would avoid counters for 2 blue in this deck. I'm trying to do that. I think that's why counter feels a little iffy. I'm a little iffy on counter. Oh, you know what though? I am not iffy on Red Elemental Blast. And Pyroblast at that. Also, we can add in Mystic Remora. I've been told that Mystic Remora is good. So, we'll see. And Rhystic Study, you know. These are cards I've been told are good. I can't confirm the sources, but I've been told they're good, so I want to try them out. Mystic, Rhystic, and then other card value cards in these colors. I mean, we've got the Ad Nauseam, just be satisfied. But what other cards do you want? I'm trying to think if, like, is Dark Confidant an advisor? Dark Confidant's gotta be an advisor, right? It's not worth it. It's not going in. Don't want it. I'm sorry. You guys are saying Sea Rift, Cyclonic Rifts. You think you're so cool with this amazing suggestion. You are. It's actually, that's a really great suggestion. Thank you for that. Mana Tithe is a favorite, but I'm casual, clearly. MTH 445. There's nothing casual about a spell being countered. Nothing at all. Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry. I just got a horrible text. I won't share it. But no, Mana Tide's fine. I think in most worlds, Mana Tide is okay. Winds of Rebuke, not a counter, but you know, fuck Winds of Rebuke. No, Winds of Rebuke is fine. Oh, so it mills us too. It does will. Winds of Rebuke does mill us, so I kind of like Winds of Rebuke. Oh, we haven't added all the blue cards. No, we haven't. And cEDH meta, CD, Thassa's Oracle, runs Stifle and Trickbind. You know what's funny? No one runs Stifle and Trickbind. Justin throws down on Mystic Remora. He normally does. You know what? Silence. Damn it. Anthony. Coming in with them good spells. Yeah, we'll add Silence. Silence is pretty solid. I think that we also need to add some Taint. A little Taint to this deck. Tainted Pack seems good. We forgot about that. How can y'all forget about Tainted Pack? I mean, it's pretty silly. I think that Silence is probably good enough by itself. I would say that Silence is good enough. It's killing me. We're going to do a halftime show. Halftime show. I'm calling it. Taking a moment. It's going to kill me, but halftime show. What I want to do, hear me out. Stay there. Don't go anywhere. We're going to try this one more time during the halftime show. I'm going to save this out, and then we're going to look at the deck. We're not going to play it yet. It's not there yet, right? Don't get too excited. But we're going to look at the deck. But I'm going to try to get this camera to work. And right now, during the halftime show, you can ask me any question, and I will be 100% honest. 100% honesty from me. You can't expect that from other content creators, but you'll get it from me. Whatever you want to know about, I will answer. So make it good. But it's killing me that I can't use this bloody camera I purchased. I'm trying to refrain from cursing, but it's really difficult, I swear. Okay. Okay, just in case there's babies watching. So many babies out there. So many babies. All right. Nope, doesn't even register it. Doesn't even see it. All right, wait, go back here. Okay, go back there. Right. Come on, baby. Big money. Oh, I don't know if it's going to last, but I'm just going to savor this moment for just a little while longer. All right. So I'm looking. Dispel. These aren't questions, people. These are cards. I think you're right though. Like a Dispel probably makes sense. And Esper Sentinel at that. That's a good draw utility. Is Esper Sentinel an advisor though? Is Esper Sentinel an advisor or not? Say it. I will still add Esper Sentinel because we got a Diabolic Intent something, right? But Dispel, you guys are so smart. You're so much smarter than me. I like Dispel. I like Dispel a lot. Chris M, I think Dress Down does a better job and is more flexible. Shit. Dress Down is pretty good, but I think we're okay. Is Potence in there? I'm not going to add Potence. I'm not as high on Potence as most people are. I think Potence detracts from Plan A. I think Potence lulls you into a false sense of security. I'm just making up shit. Potence is fine. Potence is really good. I just don't want to add it. How much do you think you've spent on MTG Rounded? How much do I think I've spent on MTG Rounded? I can give you an exact number. No, I can't do that. How much do I think I spent on MTG? Thousands of dollars. I wouldn't ever recommend anyone spends thousands of dollars on this game, though. If you care about the mechanics of this game, if you're interested in playing this game, simply proxy the cards for these decks. I know these decks get very expensive and very out of hand, but if you're just interested in playing the game and not collecting it, then I highly recommend, I highly encourage you to proxy these decks, especially if you want to play at a competitive level, because nothing's more fun than beating your friends to a pulp with the best cards. It's not entirely true. There are things that are far more enjoyable, but I've spent a lot, and I've actually sold a lot of cards since recently too, so I couldn't give you a number rounded, but I'm sure it's near 10K over the years. Has to be. I've certainly made more back though, so it's almost like I've spent nothing. All right. Solid. Thanks for the clarification. Oh, this is something else. This is nothing to do with me. You people are just having your own little party. Own little party out there. I'm going to get rid of the red-white cards. They seem the least vital, right? Right? Those red-white cards seem the least vital, mates. So spectator seeding. I think we'll get rid of the other one. Not plateau. The, what is it? Something forge. Did I even add it? I don't even think I added the forge. I don't even think I wanted it. Is that what it's called? It's not there. Damn. Sacred Foundry, that's what it's called. Okay, we don't need that. No one needs that. And the least other likely color is the Orzavian one. So we'll get rid of Godless Shrine. And we'll also get rid of that Vault of Champions. Yeah, don't need those cards. No good. No good here. We only take a Visa or MasterCard. So we don't want those. We're going to move on with life. Pratt Rick, how do you feel about Leovold, Kumbal, and Gavi? Is that what you're trying to say? I don't know. They're fine. Yorian, as that's like I said, 100% candid answers. Yorian as a companion to play a cEDH deck with plus 20 petitioners. What do you think of Timna Sakashima Stacks deck? I think, what is the goal of Timna Sakashima Stacks, and can it get there quickly? If it can get there quickly, then I think very highly of it. If it has a piss poor time of winning the game, then I think very low of it. I like Stacks decks that are able to execute on a game plan quickly, right? Like you can very quickly put a stopper on your opponents, but you can also very quickly execute on your game plan. It's important that you end the game at some point. You know, we had this conversation on the Discord where the table can really hit a dead lull if nothing happens during a game. If it's just a shit ton of stacks and people swinging at each other, it's not very fun for anyone. So I try to avoid lists that don't execute on a win efficiently. So if it has a combo or something within it that it can execute on well, then sure, I like it. I think Timna Sakashima is probably fine just for control, right? Its controlling aspect and the fact that you get to draw a couple cards. It's probably fine. But I've never played it. I've only played against it, and it seemed fine. I've never lost to a Timna Sakashima. That's why I'm asking how it wins. Anyway. Mystic Reflection does work as well. Oh, I don't want any more suggestions, man. Bro, look, I gotta cut 21 cards. I gotta cut 21 cards, and they're not gonna be Persistent Petitioner. Although you could say, if I cut the Persistent Petitioners, we would have an entirely different deck. I'm not gonna do it. We gotta cut 21 cards. Oh my god. Okay. Would you like to see EDH make it to the pro bracket? Would I like to see cEDH? Would I like to see EDH to? I don't know. Yeah, I guess. I love playing this game, and the thing I enjoy doing most with EDH is building decks. That is the thing I enjoy most. And I do this on my free time as a hobby. Like, I enjoy building decks. So the fact that I get to share this with you guys is great. Now, if I play a deck and I win with that deck, you know, does that prove that my game theory worked, or does that prove my mindset on the game works, or whatever? Sure, and that's fun in and of itself. But the thing I enjoy most, honestly, is making list. And I actually enjoy drafting quite a bit too. So if EDH was a competitive thing, I'm not even sure I would throw my hat in the ring. And I mean, like, sponsored, head cash prizes, you know, funded by WotC, so on and so forth. Like, if it was a thing that I could play professionally, I wouldn't, because it would drain the fun, like making it a profession. This is hardly work for me, and it doesn't pay like work does. So then it's just fun. So I wouldn't necessarily think I would find myself playing competitive Commander if it was a thing. cEDH, so far as brewing is concerned, yeah, I love building lists that are competent. So this is what I get enjoyment out of. So let's cut 21 cards. Why don't we? Yeah, hide and seek. I always wanted to play it. Not today. Man, Force of Will might not be good enough at 5 CMC. I don't know. I've never seen Force of Will pull its own weight. You know I'm lying to you when I say shit like that. I think War of Invention's probably the odd man out here. I gotta say. And on that note, I think the Moon Silver Gloves key, whatever, yeah, it's gone. Don't need that. Augustin, I'm talking about the deck All Advisors. For All Advisors, oh, you beautiful you. I don't know. It might be a better Petitioner's deck. I don't know. I like colors, though. I'm all about that diversity when it comes to persistent Petitioners. I think that there's just more to do in these colors that benefit this list. I feel like Petitioners needs green. There's a super good card called Blood Bond March that wombos with them. You might be right, or you might be dead wrong. We'll find out in just a second if I can find the cards to cut, because this deck is absurd. Okay, what is it? Okay, here. Heartwarming halftime. Let's see if the main camera's still working. Let's go. All the gestures. Let's see if we can fuck this camera up. Put your kids in the other room. I'm so sorry. It keeps coming to my mind. I've had so many people tell me that I should make my content child friendly. I haven't yet. Because I'm not trying to appeal to babies. But I really should. How many persistent Petitioners should be in a persistent Petitioner deck? Go. Hit me. How many persistent Petitioners? 5? 7? 18? Lay it on me. I really don't know. I think there are a couple of cards in green that care about the name of a card, right? Like insofar as like tutoring is concerned, I've found. But that's not enough for me to want to venture into those colors. But with persistent Petitioners, I'm thinking, I've got a number in mind. Let's play Wheel of Misfortune together. Pick a number, 1 through 20. How many persistent Petitioners should be in the deck? And don't you joke me. Don't troll me. Give me an actual number. Give me an actual number here. A lot of halftimes in this stream. Shut your mouth. What are you trying to say? What do you mean? Yeah, Noboru might be right. There are a couple of halftimes more than other lists. It's because this list, it's made itself already. It's perfect already, right? We don't need to establish the perfect strategy. It's been made. Now it's really perfecting the numbers, right? It's a rare opportunity that we have the ability to put more than one card in a cEDH deck. And I'm not counting basics, okay? So I need those numbers. 25, 98. At the very least, 25. Damn! 35, 99. I like that number here. 33, 20, 69, or 420. Oh my god. 99, okay. 99 twice. Got twice 90. Well, this is a partner's deck, so 98 Daniel Frazier is more accurate as to what we can do. Lean towards 29 to 35. Really? 29 to 35? That's insane. No lower than 20. Honestly, stop. Oh my god. 14 is the best number. I'm leaning towards 14 because I don't know what we're supposed to cut here. 17, 19, 19, 20, 12, 15, 18. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Heartwarming halftime over. I love the numbers you just shouted at me. I think that the 30 to 35 region, 29 to 35 region is maybe most accurate, but then what is your deck doing? That's a lot. That is a lot of Petitioners. I think we can avoid just, I don't know. Maybe the Imperial Recruiter makes its way back in sans this many Petitioners, right? So I think we can go down to, dare I say, 12 Petitioners. with Masako and Imperial Recruiter. Call me crazy. Do it. Do it. I dare you. But I'm going to do 12. I'm going to do 12. And don't you ever call her humorless. Don't you ever. So you need 4 to be effective, and by turn 4, you'll see 11 cards. Someone do the math.
My greatest enemy, math.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a hair toss. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. I feel like my hair is in the way. I'm holding my hair tie because I kind of want to get it out of the way. But I'll leave it down. I get asked to leave my hair down all the time, and I don't know why. Better question, how many Shadowborn Apostles do you need in Athreos God Passage deck? Vilius, we're not talking about your Athreos deck right now, okay? I don't know, though. That's a good question. Are you counting lands? I am? You will persistently draw them. Yes. Oh, that means 1 in 9-ish cards will be Petitioner. Blasphemy. Blasphemy. I think that 12 is adequate. And you can call me a horrible person for saying that, but I think that's accurate. We need to cut 12 cards, people. Come on. We don't have all day. We need to cut them 12 cards. I need you to cut 12 cards for me. Tell me which ones you don't want. Now, in case you're wondering how this deck wins, there's a little card called Thassa's Oracle. She came out in a set called Theros Beyond Death. And when you cast her, when you have no deck, you win the game. So if you are ever wondering on what the strategy is for a deck that contains blue, 9 times out of 10, it's Thassa's Oracle. Don't really need to say much else about that. And if you happen to fail on that front, well then, you know what? Mill your opponents. And how do you mill your opponents? Well, Isochron Scepter Dramatic Reversal, no doubt, when blue relied on other things. And it was Laboratory Maniac. But blue still needed to do things with Isochron Scepter. Not so much anymore. But the other strategy is to use a Praetor's Grasp to steal an opposing Thassa's Oracle. So now with the win con clearly defined, I think it's probably best for us to cut shit that doesn't apply to the main strategy. And right now, counters usually apply to the main strategy. I do think we need to eliminate some cards from here, though. And because this feels like a sorcery speed deck, I gotta tell you, I genuinely think that Force of Negation is one of the weaker ones, because I'm not trying, we're being as greedy as possible. Like, I only want the things that are free on my turn or useful on my turn, because this deck is going to win on my turn. So Force of Negation as a counter is not as good on my turn. So I'm going to get rid of that. We stated double blue things are probably not good, but a majority of our shit is double blue. It's double blue. So I'm probably going to want to keep it anyways. Pyroblast or Elemental Blast, that we have access to those tells me that we could probably negate some of these other spells. Now, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, I kind of would prefer to cut down on the wins and potentially one more card. If there is a stacks heavy deck going against us, then Cyclonic Rift is really the only way out of that scenario. We need a Cyclonic Rift. It's just the best end all be all. Here's a way to clear the board without, harming myself in any meaningful way. Or any way at all, actually. So I'm going to cut those for now. Say whatever you want about me, but I'm going to cut those for now. 12.1% of the cards in the deck are Petitioners. The only game of Magic Chuck Norris lost was to blocker math, the ultimate enemy. I'm sure it's much funnier when you don't mess it up. Do we add Dread Return if we mill out Thassa's, we sack the Petitioners? Trent, can you just stop? Can you just stop with the ideas? Okay? This is an idea farm. All right? That's not what we're building. I don't want brilliant ideas. Okay? So could you stop them? Could you stop with that? Yeah, you might be right. Shit. You know what's funny? Is that I went into Akiri because I wanted Savine's Reclamation. But we probably get by with just Dread Return. If we're being really honest with ourselves, if we're sitting down and having real talk with ourselves, probably just get by with Dread Return. I'm going to leave it at that, though. I think Fabricat is probably something we can cut. I think Yeska's Will is just okay. in this particular list, I'm not altogether too concerned with it. I think Transmute Artifact is the bee's knees, but I'm not sure those knees are worth saving. I don't know if those knees are worth going for. I'm a little iffy on Transmute Artifact here. Call me crazy. I feel like just unmarked graving the thing and Silasing it is as sound. I don't know. Infernal Plunge can go, and this can go. This can go. Okay. Done. Enough with that. 7 more cards. Come on. How many more Persistent Petitioners are we going to cut? So, truth be told, I'm not sure how good Thrumming Stone is going to be in this list. I'm not going to lie to you. Because if we only have 12 Petitioners, I really want to land a Thrumming Stone and just see how frequently we hit on that mark. It almost feels like, okay. It almost feels like we really need to focus on Persistent Petitioners, doesn't it? We're going to do that. And Dockside Extortionist, do we need the artifacts? Well, Akiri really likes them, so I'm going to say yes. I definitely want them. I'm not entirely certain we need a Grim Monolith unless we're ad nauseaming, right? I believe that's the term. We need to cut more cards, and I think we need to cut out one of my favorites, Artificer's Intuition. I hate to say it. Sad to see it go. But we'll recover from this. I'm not sure these black rituals are going to be great. I don't think any of these rituals are going to be great. Half of this deck is black. Or blue. I'm sorry. I'm not... Okay. We need to get the ball rolling here, though. And I don't think those are going to be useful. And Dread returns black, but, it's free when it's in our graveyard. Okay, so we need to cut 3 more cards? Is that what that said? Let us cut 3 lands. No more Petitioners. With only 12 Petitioners, you should remove Thrumming. I think Adnaz could come out. You think Adnaz could come out? Trent, you had all these good ideas until you said that. Cut Grim Monolith. Dockside doesn't go got before every other ritual. I like Dockside. Yeah, exactly. Dockside stays before every other ritual. Is that what you're saying? Yes, that is a fact. You don't win after Adnaz very easily. I don't win after Adnaz very easily. I have a Underworld Breach and a Lion's Eye Diamond. I'll win after Adnaz. Is this a challenge? Are you challenging me? Have you seen me, Adnaz? I think that the Thrumming Stone feels like a gimmick. It feels like a gimmick, people. I don't know if it's going to be... I don't know. I think people have been persistently petitioning wrong. That's right. Hot take. That should have been the title of this video. You've been petitioning wrong. You don't need Thrumming Stone. You need the Fate of the Flip. That's what you need. You need to just rely on good old top deck magic. And that's what we're going to do today. Oh my god. That's what we're going to do today. Grim can go with Miss Myrick. Don't you ever say that. Don't you ever say that to me. Mesmeric Basalt. We got to go in. We got to go hard. If we're not thrumming, then we're strumming that sweet Basalt Monolith all the way to a completely milled graveyard, which is also kind of just saying no to the Persistent Petitioner package. Ah, shit. Okay, here's what we're doing. We're thrumming it. I just want to know it. It does the thing. I want to know it does the thing. Let's see. Okay. Trent, this guy just called you a knob. When Knob said, if you only have 12 petitioners, you want to cut Thrumming Stone. You don't know one? Okay. Another heartwarming halftime. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's necessary. Guys, 12 petitioners. This is the point of the video. This is the time signature you're going to send to your friends. If you've been persistent petitioning with any more than 12 petitioners, you're doing it wrong. And you still want to use the Thrumming Stone. I don't care if the math adds up. Trust me on this one. I brew decks for a living. I know. And you'll find out with this playtest. It's not going to go well. Hey, this is actually okay. All the petitioners I wanted to see. So we're going to start with this. Bam! Okay. Mana Crypt, because I can. Chrome Mox. Nagate. Because I need that sweet, sweet blue. I need that sweet, sweet blue mana. You know how I love blue mana. And we're going to do the luxury suite. Yeah. Well, I mean, we kind of want to go into the girl here, right? I did this so I could get Silas, but it's not like we need Silas right now. And I would much rather have Akiri. But, oh God. It was going to be Nagate or Pyroblast, and okay, we'll do, this is logical. This is logical is what I'm saying. And then we'll do this. Okay. And she's a 2/3, soon to be a 3/3. Thrumming Stone isn't a gimmick if you can do a turbo out Thrumming Stone. I believe that. I believe that. I'm with you. That's what I'm about to do. I'm about to turbo this shit out. It's going to go crazy. If you want to hit an average of 4 petitioners in the top 11 cards, turn 4, you need 36 of them. Lundy, I don't need your logic right now. I need your blind faith. Can you approach this with blind faith for me? Can you do that? I'm actually curious now what you're going to do. What I'm going to do is rock the shit out of this game. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to... not without tutors. We're not going to rock the shit out of this game. We're going to cast our favorite, everyone's favorite, really. Silas Wren, right? Silas Wren. We're going to swing for 3 damage. Oh, God, please tutor. Yes, tutor time. So, gamble. We're going to gamble. We're going to gamble, and we're going to gamble for, I don't know, Underworld Breach is usually good. Not when you have this few cards in hand. That kind of hurts. Do we go for ad nauseum? Yes. Okay. Everyone wanted to see the ad naus? You doubted the ad naus? Let's see if we can do the ad naus. We got Nagate in hand, but let's just pretend in this world that no one has anything for it. Do I have the black mana for this? No. I'm conscious of that fact now. We are going to do it this way instead. Better. We like that better. Okay. Turn 3 ad naus. Let's do it. After we roll the dice. Please, if we're going to roll 1d6, if it's a 6, then we just ignore that. And we'll try to randomize this hand of ours. Here you go. Oh God. It didn't randomize it that much. Roll the die. 1. Savine's Wreck. That's exactly where we wanted it. That gamble. It knew. Okay, so Blood Crypt or Mana Confluence. I don't know. Mana Confluence. Let's do that. So we've lost no life. Who was going to swing into Akiri? Good luck. Did we lose any life? Let's just say we rolled the die and we failed on the Mana Crypt. We lost 3 life. It's a shame. But we're going to ad nauseum now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. It was successful, as it always is. I'm going to really shuffle this up, and we're going to go boop. Oh, God. 2. I'm going to put them into my hand. 2. 5. Oh, God. 7. 9. I thought you said the probability wasn't there for these guys. 11. That's 20. We're down to 20. 11. We're down to 20. Right? No. Am I crazy? I'm crazy, aren't I? 2, 5, 7. I was at 37. Down to 30. 2, 4. So down to 26. Is that accurate? 2, 5, 7, 9, 11. 11? Did I just do 11? Yeah. Okay, whatever. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I need fast mana. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Oh, God. 23, 24. Wait. There's a dramatic reversal in this hand, right? Okay, I'm just trying to. We have 2 life left. Just hold up. It's gonna work. And if not, then I blame all of you for driving me to only keeping 14 persistent petitioners. That was silly. I pulled all of them. Oh, God. Okay. We don't have the dramatic reversal. I swear to God. There it is. There it is. Okay, so we have dramatic reversal. We've got a Simian Spirit Guide into a Rite of Flame. We don't have any fast mana outside of a Jeweled Lotus, which is not that is the most useless right now. We've used all of our mana on this turn. We've played our land, and let's draw. And we're dead. Okay, definitely more than 12. I think 12 is the right number, though. I really do. One left from mana. Oh, you're right. That's okay. Because 2 would have done it anyways. But that ad nauseum, not the greatest. What we could have done was Rite of Flame, Simian Spirit Guide, Isochron Scepter, Dramatic Reversal, and then waited with a Fierce Guardianship, and that was it, right? You could also make an excuse for Arcane Signet. But the thing is, if we had any more free spells, then we could wait, honestly. Because if all they're trying to do is break a Dramatic Reversal Isochron Scepter, you could have just waited there. I was trying to do the thing now. But Mental Misstep and Fierce Guardianship, I don't know, your Nature's Claim, your whatever. All right. Pat is currently shielded by Faith, correct. Definitely more than 12. I mean, how many persistent, okay. How many persistenters did I just see? 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, we only need to see 4, right? That's a lot of persistent petitioners. Let's try this one more time. Is this a good hand? I'll let you evaluate it. We're seeing a lot of lands. Don't want that. Is this a good hand? I don't know. It's got Esper Sentinel. All the kids love Esper Sentinel, trust me. I run a children's magic show. Kids go crazy when Esper Sentinel's cast. I really should just do children's content and curb my cursing. I really should. I swear to God. It's really the market I'm missing. Instead, I'm appealing to you guys. What am I doing? Simic? What about Simic? Okay, so we're going to keep going with the correct number of persistent petitioners in Thrumming Stone. We could definitely cut Thrumming Stone. I think Thrumming Stone, yeah, you definitely want more persistent petitioners. I agree with all of you. You know, I've been saying that from the start. You know, why do the math? What is blind faith? We're not going to do another heart warning halftime because it's clearly past halftime. However, we'll continue with this hand. Why not? Okay, so Windswept Heath into a... What was that one I just had? I think that with this hand, we definitely want blue and red. But Windswept Heath is going to get his green or white. And yes, I see the Dockside Extortionist. So I think that with this hand, we can go... The blue-white one is the Tundra. Excuse me. We'll do Tundra. Mana Crypt. Oh, you thought it stopped there. Mana Vaults. And the Persistent Petitioner with the Floating Generic. Okay. 1 petitioner down, 3 to go. Can we get there? I don't know. I really don't know anymore. But we've got mana for Thrumming Stone. Do you dare me? Do you dare? Okay, so we've got manas. You know, we've got some mana here. We've got mana for either Akiri or Silas, right? Pretty great. We also have a Rite of Flame and a Mana Drain. The Mana Drain is kind of less useful in this deck, but we're going to put down our boy, Silas Wren. And what's interesting with Silas Wren, and I think it would actually really benefit off that one Goblo, the Goblin Engineer. His name is Goblo, but it's a Goblin Engineer. It would actually really benefit for Entombing. Why didn't anyone suggest that? Someone definitely did. But, well, we'll go for Silent Night. Akiri over here instead. 1, 2. Buckle her shoe. She's a 2/3, and a Silent Petitioner is going to hold. Oh, top deck tutor just milled you. Stupid, foolish mistake. You shouldn't have done that. And then we'll take our next turn. Okay. Skaha? Not going to do that. We're going to do a Urza Sag. Urza Sag. So we get some generic floating here. let's do our Dockside Extortionist. Dockside at this point, on turn 3, on an average game with a bunch of filthy cEDH players, you're going to probably make at least 5 to 6 treasures. At least 5 to 6 treasures. And we'll be generous, we'll say it's 6. We'll say it's 6. So, we'll do Silas Wren, because he's cute. Everyone loves Silas Wren. 1, 2, 3. Right, so blue, black, generic. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 girls gonna swing in for 9, and then we're gonna hold this just for any top tech tutors. Top tech tutors. And I think we're good. I think we're good. If we need a mana drain, we mana drain, but we'll let that be someone else's problem because we got better things to do. Hopefully pull into a tutor? Nah. All these damn counter spells. We don't need these. What is this? A control list? My lord. Alright, so we've got the ability to make giant creatures, so we will. We'll make a construct. What you guys don't realize is that this is actually secretly a go-wide mass damage build. So this guy, and Akiri's big, this guy's big, everyone's big. It's just a great world. Have I been tapping her? So it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this guy's a 10-10, which is just as many poison counters as it takes to kill us. And Akiri is also really big. So she's going to swing. This guy's going to sit there looking pretty. And it's probably better to do this off turn, but whatever. We're announcing it now because we're cool like that. We will spell snare off turn because, you know, something happened. Underworld Breach? No. Stop. That's my strategy. And then we probably should have played this land, but we missed it. So we'll go on. All right. Ooh, another Persistent Petitioner. How many allies? Not enough. That's okay. We're going to go just drop the Petitioner down. It just only makes sense. It's only right. And we're going to keep crossing our fingers for a tutor because all the mana in the world can't save us here. Silas is fine. We got all this mana and no ad nause. This is one of those moments, oh, Psych Rift. One of those moments where we really need a lot more to go right for us and not the nothing that's happening. Now, I'll tune in with you guys. 1 life left, thank you. We all act like children, so huge market. Got to run away. Happy brewing. Daniel Fraser, don't run if you're holding scissors. Risk it for the brisket. Ah, shit. That's even better than what I say. I say risk it for the biscuit, but brisket's just, it's a tad better. Cut Thrumming Stone for a peer into the abyss. You know, with the amount of mana, yeah. Allure and Haste Enablers are super good with Petitioners. Well, I mean, you don't need to have Haste Enabling to do the tap for advisors, right? So you don't necessarily need Haste for that. You have been tapping her. Yeah, I have. All right, guys, we got to do this right. We need to add all the petitioners, okay? I want all the petitioners. Will the real petitioners please stand up? We're getting at least 20, right? Wasn't that the number we all agreed on? 20? So we need to cut 6 cards. I want Thrumming Stone to be a thing. I really do. I don't think we need these silly counterspells. What is this? What is this? That's someone else's game plan. I do still like Ad Nauseam, but not when I see that many Persistent Petitioners. So Ad Nauseam can get cut, although you did just see the power of it there. It failed me, but I'll probably not going to live that down, but it's okay. It's cool. I still wanted to do the Isochron Dramatic Reversal thing, but we're kind of shy on that actually being a working strategy, coupled with the fact that we got rid of Ad Nauseam, right? So I think that Isochron is just a dead dream at this point. I'm sorry. It's a long gone dream. Bygone. And we don't even have a singular self-mill strategy outside of Petitioners. So Savines is still in. Savines is in. Did I miss Entomb? No, jeez. God, I was so scared. I was about to blame one of you for this. But I don't have to. You're safe. Dread Return is cute. I think that there isn't a mass mill strategy outside of just Petitioners doing their thing. And the Petitioners can't even untap now. I still need the Isochron, don't I? Still need that sweet, sweet Isochron. And I need Dramatic Reversal to be in my hands, don't I? So the way this is going to function now, it really needs... Oh, I hate saying it. It really needs that Brain Freeze. And You can do Grind Station or Brain Freeze, but genuinely the Brain Freeze is better. LED is less useful in this scenario. And as with Dread Return. Okay. Let's just see if upping it to 20 helps. I just want to know. Slow and steady, okay? Slow and steady wins the race here. Impulse Draw. 20 could work-ish. Mesmeric Orb. Esper Sentinel is not a petitioner. No, it's not. Isochron gone forever, but not lost. It's still in our hearts and minds. Isochron... Oh, God. Heartwarming halftime. Guys. Did you lose an Isochron Scepter recently? It's not the end of the world, I promise. Isochron still lives here and here. In Dramatic Reversal, anytime you see a Jace, anytime you see Jace art, Dramatic Reversal lives there. And you could still use it. I still think it makes a lot of sense. It's just maybe not here. This is fine. We have 2 Petitioners. It's kind of doing the thing we want. We don't want Praetor's Grasp, but I still want the Petitioners. I'll keep this hand. Why not? Oh my god, Underworld Breach. Okay, so we'll do the Polluted Delts, and we'll give ourselves an Underground Sea. I'm just going to follow what this is telling me. Although we probably want red, so blue / what, Volcanic Island? Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. We'll do that. Lotus Petal. Is it crazy that I want to break this for Arcane Signet? Probably not. Okay, so we'll do that. Hopefully all's right with the world and we draw a land. If not, we're going to pretend we didn't even test this hand. Moving on. Is this a good hand? Kind of. I'm a little upset about the Mox Diamond, but who knows what will be top deck. That. That's what we top deck. Arid Mesa. We want blue, so we're going to go Volcanic Island again. You can never go wrong with Volcanic Island in this deck. It's probably one of the better lands, trust me. Although we can't do that. You could make a case for the Mox Diamond here. You really could have. You really could have, couldn't you? You could say that Mox Diamond was better. I'm not going to, though. I'm not. Although I will state that the Volcanic Island is definitely not what we want. We want something with black. So we're going to go for the bad lands. And we'll shuffle that. Oh, God. It sucks because I really want to Vamp Tutor like a Mystic Remora. I really need to Vamp Tutor. A land is what I really need to Vamp Tutor. But in this instance, we're going to go boop, boop, Silas. Because Silas can get the Jeweled Lotus back, and then maybe we'll be able to, you know, pull this game out of our ass. Who knows? I won't Vamp Tutor here in an effort to see if we just pull a land, because we're not really in a great spot to do the Vamp. God, it feels good. It feels good. Did you guys feel that with me? Oh, that felt really good, didn't it? Can we just bask in that for a second? Okay, we're done now. We're done. That's enough. It was getting a little weird. I'm not going to lie to you. Your basking in that Marsh Flats pull was just a little weird. We're going to swing. Oh, we get to, on combat damage, you may cast card. Okay, so we're going to cast this card. We're going to break it promptly, and we're going to cast Akiri. Well, we got 3 petitioners here. We'll cast the Jeweled Lotus. But I will cast a petitioner. Oh, God, no. Oh. I don't know why I did that. I'm so sorry. We're going to cast a petitioner. We got to start building up that field. Got to start building it. All right. What I want to do is put down a Thrumming Stone, but I do not have the mana for it. And at this point, it might behoove us to place a Mana Crypt on top of our library, because it always does. However, this is the instance we kind of want that Mystic Remora. So before our next turn, we're going to... Okay, we're going to do this. This is on top. We're going to cast a bat with the Badlands Vampiric Tutor. We're going to go for the Mystic Remora. Mystic Remora. And we'll put that on top of our library. We draw it. And then we will cast a Mystic Remora. And yes, you know, we could have gone for a Petitioners. We could have gone for Akiri, but we're in a real shit spot here. So what we're going to do is just benefit off the sweet, sweet draw of our opponents. And let's just be extremely generous to ourselves, and we'll give ourselves 1, 2, 3 cards. It feels like I'm being plagued with these guys, but we're playing for them, so this is good. Next turn. Oh my god! Oh, Lord, please, deliver me. Deliver me, Aerith. Sephiroth. Oh, God. Okay. We're going to cast Akiri. Akiri, save us. We're going to cast Akiri. We're making white mana. It's the most useful color. Oh, God. Okay. Can't even cast, you suckers. Oh, shit. All right. Yeah. She's a 1-3. 2-3. 2-3. Gonna count Silas. And we're going to be extremely generous again, and we're going to say we get 3 more cards. I'm going to discard a petitioner before my end step, though. Clean up on aisle mill. Let's go ahead and do the 1, 2, 3. Oh shit, things are getting good. Draw for a turn. Oh, thank God. Mox Diamond, still useless. Chrome Mox a petitioner. Right. Okay, so in this instance, right here. Oh yeah, we need to pay for this, don't we? I'm so sorry. We needed to pay 1 for it last turn? Sure. We're not paying for it now, though. We got everything we needed out of it. Okay, so we've 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. It's turn 5, of course, naturally. This is the turn 5 deck. Let me see where you guys are at. Let's just go there. I'm gonna see where your head's at. You can clearly tell where mine's at. Behold, Hawk, the despair of Patrick, slowly transforms his Akiri Silas petitioners list into another stock Crom Timna list. Oh no, don't say that. Oh, I don't want to do that. No, but I mean, yeah, these colors have a lot going for them, and petitioners maybe not the best strategy for it. What about Mortal Kombat? Maybe. I chimed in late. Are you running an infinite basalt line? Man, nobody. I was, and I took it out. What a fool. If you can mass self-mill with Mesmeric Orb peer into the abyss, you could discard your hand and use Chains of Mephistopheles, Lou Gehrig in the 9th. Oh God, stop. Isochron in the hard spot. Yeah, it is and will forever be. But I think in this instance that it would behoove us. I think I've used that word at least once this stream. There is a quota I'm trying to meet. I think that we can intuition off turn and maybe set up a sweet, sweet play for later. A sweet, sweet play for later. But because we're in a persistent petitioner build, so I feel like it's kind of important that we get more of these suckers out. But not really. I think that intuition, the pile is very clearly going to be Underworld Breach, Savine's Reclamation, and a Lion's Eye Diamond, which I took out, right? Didn't I take out Lion's Eye Diamonds? Oh God, I forgot intuition was a thing. It's fine. I think our intuition should be persistent petitioner, persistent petitioner, persistent petitioner, right? Because that's the goal of this deck. I might be having a breakdown here. I'm not sure how to continue with this hand because it's not very good. I want to put persistent petitioner down because that's what my heart's telling me. So I'll put that down, and we'll cast the Imperial Seal. All right, an Imperial. This is gonna give me a Mana Crypt. Why not? No. God, what am I doing? Mana Crypt in my mind reads 2 persistent petitioners next turn with mana open. But then I realize the mana I have open is not great. Although I do have blue here, so I'm sorry. I don't know why I did that. I am so sorry. All right, so we're gonna do this. That's blue. This is blue. What would you Imperial Seal here? Persistent Petitioner? What would you like to Imperial Seal? At least the camera's not frozen. Thanks, Antonio. I can tape all the Persistent Petitioners together and then roll them up, ready for back to use. Oh God, the old wiping the ass joke gets me every time. I think that Imperial Seal is best suited for Chain of Vapor. If we can only Cyclonic Rift ourselves. Dockside Extortionist is an option. Dockside Extortionist, because we need that sweet, sweet mana when we got the intuition, okay? And yeah, would Grinding Station make sense in this deck? Maybe. Just stop with the good ideas. You can take what I have, which is a shamble of a deck, and then make something that you really want. Again, this is the cold brew recommended list. You can put me through this misery yourself if you like. Let's go from here, babies. Let's do this. We're going to win the game on the spot right now. All right. I had to dispel off turn. I don't know. Did I have the mana for dispel? I didn't have the mana for dispel, I don't think. So I didn't have to do that. Never mind. Saving it for our turn. Dockside Extortionist. On turn 6, Dockside. This man's making 8 treasures. How do I know that with certainty? Because I've been there. I was there that day. The day Dockside made 8 treasures. It's really not that unfounded. So, all right. Let's go ahead and swing along a ding-dong with Akiri, because that's what she does. We'll do some damage, and then we'll move to our main phase 2, because we are a deck that can win on main phase. Now, would it make sense to just drop all the Petitioners? Maybe, but that's 4 mana, and we have an intuition. So, and my intuition tells me we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 intuition. And, you want to stop my spell? Blam! Countered. Haha, you fool. What are you doing? Are you trying to stop me right now? We're going to get... We have enough mana, I think. So, Savine's Reclamation. Oh, God. Underworld Breach. How do we do this without LED? How do we do this without LED? What do we grab instead of LED? Lotus Petal. It's not as good. They're going to give us this spell. They're going to give us this spell. I know it. I'm sweating here. I got the schvets. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I don't know. There's a Graph Digger's Cage. I don't know what we grab if not LED. Who said to take out LED? What pompous, persistent, you know what? Fuck it. Give me the Persistent Petitioner. Give me it. I'll take it. All right. I'll take that. And then we're going to cast with 5 mana, Savine's Reclamation. Don't you feel like an idiot giving me Persistent Petitioners? Fool! You fool! And we'll put Mystic Remora back into play. Oh my god, we have a Persistent Petitioner in our graveyard, don't we? Don't we? Don't we? Yeah, I'll put that back into play instead. Who needs Mystic Remora? Only losers play Mystic Remora. That's right, quote me. All right, we've got Underworld Breach. We've got 3 Petitioners out of 4. And we've got a Brain Freeze. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking Brain Freeze, Pat. Brain Freeze. You only have 3 mana left. Brain Freeze, you fool. No! This deck is called I Respectfully Mill. I'm not some dirty little Brain Freezer. All right? We're going to do this with respect to our opponents. We're going to mill the good old-fashioned way by tapping 4 of these advisors and putting shit from our library into our grave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh my god, 12. That was a lot of cards. That was a lot of cards. Now, I don't think we have that damn thing in our graveyard that can help us here, do we? Would Brain Freeze have been better? Wait, how many spells did I cast this turn? I could have broke this and cast it off Silas. Let's just say we did that because that makes sense, right? So just to get a grip on how big our Brain Freeze would have been. 1, 2. Did I buckle my shoe this turn? Did I dispel this turn? I dispelled this turn, didn't I? I dispelled. 1, Intuition. 2, Jeweled Lotus off a play that was never made. 3, 4, Savine's Reclamation. 5 with Brain Freeze. Brain Freeze would have been bigger. All right, guys. We're frozen. Oh, damn, we're frozen. Brain Freeze broke my camera. It was like, dude, you done goofed. You done goofed. All right. Our final heart-to-heart before this episode ends. I think it's only appropriate. Let's transform this. Let's stretch it to fit the screen. Let's just see what that looks like. Not great. Not great. Let's do it this way. Fit the screen. How wide do I become? Oh, no, it's not going to do it. Interesting. Okay, so One of my best decks, clearly. Easily one of the best streams on YouTube. Quality of the face cam on MacBook Pro, excellent. I don't know why I bought this camera. This is painful. I would never recommend this. We tried. I think Akiri and Silas are good together, though. Let me just say that. I think that's a match made in heaven. He might not be an ally, but I think honorary ally. I think Dockside, as we've proven in this magical world of gold fishing, is pretty decent, right? 8 treasures, that was pretty cool, right? Intuition piles are even better with LED. Brain Freeze, really good in these colors. And I think Persistent Petitioner, we probably narrow it down to 1 in the deck would be better. But we can say we tried, right? All right. Let's go. Close this out as I always do. Thanking our Patreon crew. You guys are the reason I swing back every week. And to the viewers watching now, you guys are awesome. I really appreciate you swinging out to see me struggle through these live streams. Not only the camera qualms, but also the decks themselves. I appreciate you guys turning up for these, showing up, turning out, looking cool, funky, fresh as you always do. I don't know that with certainty, but some of you I do have cams on, so. No, this was fine. I think Silas and Akiri is destined for success. I think that you can take this petitioner list and do with it what you will, but what I would highly recommend is just taking the petitioners out. I think that these two partnered together would actually make a really cool stacks pairing that functions off the same win lines, you know, your average list in these colors would, right? So you would have the intuition lines, you would have the underworld breeds, the Civians Reclamation, all that fun stuff. You would do that and win the game instead of doing petitioners, particularly when you have a brain freeze in hand. So I'm going to just look at some of the chat here and close this out as I always do. But thank you again to our Patreon crew. Thank you to our YouTube members. Again, you guys make this show possible. You guys are the best. And to you, the viewer, thank you for showing up, turning out, and making this a fun time for me. But not laughing about cam lag. Loved it. God. I'm afraid these petitioners aren't that persistent. Dude, just play Yorian. Blue Farm. Plus 20 petitioners. I don't know who Yo Ryan is, but I'll check him out. Favorite deck builder. Stop. Thank you. Bad Jank. I don't know what the acronym BAD means, but I assume it's good. And hot advisors and allies. Let's go. I really want to revisit Akiri Silas Ren. I'm just going to state that now. I think that is something we should do in the future. But until